Record.
Star Trek The Next Generation, the best of both worlds. Fade in, exterior space, the Enterprise, leaving warp as it approaches a planet.
Captain's log, stardate 43994.1. Enterprise has arrived at Dret 4 in response to a distress signal from one of the Federation's outermost colonies.
Interior transporter room. Riker enters, meets Geordi, Data, and Worf. O'Brien at the console.
Anything from the surface?
No, sir. There have been no communications from the colony for over 12 hours.
Sensors picking up any signs of life?
None.
Riker frowns, anticipating the question.
The surface environment is safe for transport, Commander.
Riker acknowledges as they move into the transporter position. He nods to the technician and dematerialize. Exterior planet surface day. Fairly close, so we have no clear bearings yet. The away team reacts to what they see, pulling back slowly.
So O'Brien, verify these are accurate coordinates for New Providence colony.
Coordinates verified, sir. We're at the center of town.
Exterior planet surface wide day. To see the away team is standing in an empty site where the colony used to be. There is now a shallow depression as though it had been scooped out and taken away. Fade in, exterior space, the Enterprise. In orbit, another starship, transport class, has joined them.
Captain's log, stardate 43997.6. Admiral Hansen and Lieutenant Commander Shelby of Starfleet Tactical have arrived to review the disappearance of New Providence colony. No sign remains of the 900 inhabitants.
Interior, Captain's ready room. Picard, Riker, Hansen, 50s, high-ranking, hard-driving, and Shelby. She is late 20s, very beautiful, energetic, extremely motivated, and ambitious. The mood is somber.
Morning!
The truth is, hell, we're not ready. We've known they were coming for over a year. We've thrown every resource we've got into this, but still.
And you're convinced it is the Borg?
Well, I'm here to find out. The initial description of these surface conditions are almost identical to your reports from System J25.
Mr. Riker wrote those reports. He agrees with you.
Commander Shelby took over Borg tactical analysis 6 months ago. I've learned to give her a wide latitude when I want to get things done. That's how I intend to operate here.
It is clear that she is in charge as far as the Admiral is concerned.
My priority has been to develop any kind of defense strategy.
Obviously, nothing we have now can stop them.
We've been designing new weapons, but they're still on the drawing board.
We expected much more lead time. Your encounter with the Borg was over 7,000 light years away.
If this is the Borg, it would indicate they have a source of power far superior to our own.
I'd like to see the colony site as soon as possible, Captain.
It'll be 9 at the site in 30 minutes. Schedule and the waiting for dawn.
Why don't you show the commander to her quarters?
Riker rises to escort her to the door.
It's our poker night, Admiral. There's always an open seat for you.
Would love to, but next time, Commander. The captain and I have a lot to cover. But rumor has it that Commander Shelby's played a hand or two.
Riker reacts, exchanges a look with Shelby, who grins as they exit. Hansen smiles. After the door closes,
Keep your eye on her, Jean-Luc. One impressive young lady.
Picard grins. Obviously has a special affection for this particular Admiral.
You seem rather taken with her, JP.
Just an old man's fantasies. When Shelby came into tactical, everyone damned Admiral's uncle had to take a stance on the Borg business. He cut through it, put us on track.
Picard moves to a teapot, pouring.
Oh, great.
4 sugars. She'd make you one hell of a first officer.
Picard
Already
raises
have.
an eyebrow.
I already have a hell of a first officer.
Don't tell me he's going to pass up another commission.
One's available.
The Melbourne. It's his if he wants it. Hasn't he told you?
Well, I guess I knew this day would have to come. Make a fine captain, JP.
You may want to tell him that. We're still waiting for his decision. Hell, this is the 3rd time we pulled out the captain's chair for Riker. He just won't sit down. I'll tell you something. There are a lot of young hotshots like Shelby on their way up. Riker could suddenly look like he's standing still next to them. He's hurting his career by staying put. If I were you, I'd kick him in the rear for his own good.
He drinks again. Picard reacts and interior corridor. Riker moving with Shelby.
You know the Borg have no interest in power or political conquest.
They identify what's useful to them, then consume it, or try to at least.
At her quarters, they pause.
But here's the question. After they take what they want, what happens to the rest? There has to be some evidence, residue, something that tells us they've been here.
Interior Shelby's quarters. Continuous. As the door slides open, they enter.
I don't know what exactly I'm looking for, but we've tested the section of the Enterprise's hull that were damaged by the Borg. There were some unusual magnetic resonance traces.
A Borg footprint?
That's my theory. I'll see if it holds up tomorrow. I've reviewed your personnel. I'll be assigning Mr. LaForge and Mr. Data to accompany me on the away team.
Riker barely reacts. Isn't prepared to allow her to make crew assignments.
I've already assigned them to the away team, Commander. Now, please keep up.
A quick awkwardness.
Of course. I appreciate any assistance you can offer.
She measures him for a beat, examining the quarters.
Tell me something, Commander. Is serving aboard the Enterprise as extraordinary an experience as I've heard? Good. Because I intend to convince Captain Picard that I'm the right choice for the job.
Job. Which job?
Yours, of course. I'm sorry, I heard you were leaving.
And she's very good. It could be taken as an innocent faux pas by any lesser man. But Riker knows a fishing expedition when he sees one. Their eyes connect. He won't bite.
If I am, I'm sure you'll be the first to know, Commander. Focus at 1700 hours. My quarters. Okay.
He exits. Hold just a beat on her reaction, and interior Riker's quarters poker table. Troy is the dealer, Wesley, Geordi, Riker, Data, Shelby. 5 cards stud, 4 cards have been dealt.
I will buy another card, Counselor.
Another king in the hole data?
I'm afraid I cannot answer that, Wesley. And as you are a newcomer to the game, may I say it is inappropriate to ask.
Troy deals Data his last card.
No help here.
Fold again.
I'm in.
Throws in the chips. His card is a 3rd jack.
3 jacks. I'm looking for the handsome young ensign.
Reactions around the table. Data folds.
Beginner's luck.
Shelby puts her chips out. Gets a worthless card.
Pair of deuces stands.
Riker throws in his chips, gets cards, and continues his straight flush reactions.
Possible flush, possible flush, or possible straight flush. The bet is yours, Mr. Crusher.
Wes looks nervously at Riker.
I'm in for 10.
He throws in a pair of chips. Shelby studies Wesley carefully and then throws in her own 2 chips to stay in. But the tension is clearly between Riker and Wesley. Riker gives him his best poker face.
Time to put on the long pants, Wes. I'll see your 10 and raise you 100.
He's got the straight flush.
Not necessarily. Commander Riker may be bluffing, Wesley.
Wes studies Riker's face. Breaks.
I don't think so. I fold.
With 3
Where you left off.
And so the attention turns to Shelby, who looks at Riker, and they look at each other, and after a long look, a beat.
I've only got 2 pair, Commander, but I've got to see the blind card. I'll call.
She puts in her chips. Riker blinks, looks down at his card, turns it over. It busts his straight flush. He's bluffing. Reactions, Wesley groans, hangs his head.
You got him.
Riker and Shelby's eyes meet. She collects the winnings. Exterior space, the Enterprise. In orbit, the other ships alongside. Interior transporter room. O'Brien at the console as Riker and Geordi arrive together. Geordi's carrying a work kit.
Mr. Data and I and our guests appear to be tardy.
Sir, Commander Shelby and Data beamed down to the planet's surface an hour ago.
On whose authority?
On hers, sir.
Riker exchanges a look with Geordi as they get in position on the transporter. Exterior planet surface dawn. Shelby and Data are examining exposed rock strata with their tricorders as Riker and Geordi materialize.
Morning. Early bird gets the worm, eh? We've had some interesting results.
Commander Shelby. Walk with me, Commander.
It is an order. She obeys. Geordi and Data exchange a look.
I believe Commander Shelby erred. There are no known ovofaunal or crawling vermicular life forms on Jarrett 4.
That's not what she meant, Data. But you're right. She erred.
On Data's reaction.
I'm sorry, I woke up early and I saw a weather system was moving in. It could have affected the soil readings.
Without any regard to the risk of coming down alone.
Really, Commander. If we ran into the Borg, 2 extra bodies wouldn't have made a hell of a difference, would they? We had 3 hours before the storm front hit, less than 2 hours now. Data was available, I took them, we came. I don't see your problem.
My problem, Commander, is I expect to be notified before there's a change in my orders.
Noted for future reference. Do you wish to hear my report, sir?
Go ahead.
The soil contains the same magnetic resonant traces. That's the footprint. There's no doubt anymore. It's the Borg.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. In orbit, the transporter ship is gone.
Captain's log, stardate 43998.5. With confirmation of the Borg's presence in Federation space, Admiral Hansen has returned to Starbase 324 to discuss strategy with Starfleet Command. Lieutenant Commander Shelby remains on board to continue tactical preparations.
Interior ready room, Riker and Picard.
Standing yellow alert. All Federations and Allied outposts have been warned. Ops will continue to monitor the long-range sensors. I've assigned Data, LaForge, and Mr. Crusher to work with Commander Shelby.
Picard nods, a beat.
Very good, number 1. You covered all the bases, as usual. What's your impression of Shelby?
She knows her stuff, Captain.
Picard notes a vague hesitation in his attitude.
She has your full confidence.
Well, I think she needs supervision. She takes the initiative a little too easily. Sometimes it rips.
Picard nods, smiling slightly.
Sounds a little like a young lieutenant commander I once recruited as my first officer.
Perhaps.
And all this is played with great warmth and personal connection.
You're the best officer I've ever served with, Will.
Riker crinkles his forehead, nods. Thanks.
But what are you still doing here?
Sir?
I hear you've been offered the Melbourne.
Riker acknowledges, believes the captain will be pleased when he says,
I've decided not to pursue the commission at this time.
Picard surprises him by not showing pleasure, but rather discomfort with his decision.
She's a fine ship, Will.
She's not the Enterprise. With all due respect, sir, you need me. Particularly now.
Starfleet needs good captains, particularly now. I cannot keep you to myself forever.
Picard takes a long beat. This is most difficult.
I want you to reconsider your decision.
Are you asking me to leave, Captain?
I'm asking you to look at your career objectively and make the best decision. I know it's hard to walk away, but you're ready to work without a net, my friend. You're ready to make the life and death decisions a captain must make. And hard as it is to accept, if you choose to leave, the Enterprise will go on just fine without you.
Riker looks hard at Picard. Interior 10 forward. Troy and Riker at a table. Riker is troubled, confused.
What am I still doing here, Deanna? I pushed myself hard to get this far. Sacrificed a lot. I've always said I wanted my own command, yet something's holding me back. Is it wrong to want to stay?
What do you think?
Maybe I'm just afraid of the big chair.
I don't think so.
Captain Sel Shelby reminds him of the way I used to be. He's right. She comes in here full of drive and ambition, impatient, taking risks. I look at her, and I wonder whatever happened to those things in me. I like those things in me. I've lost something.
You mean you're older, more experienced, a little more seasoned?
Seasons. What a horrible thing to say than that.
I don't think you've lost a thing, and you've gained a lot more than you realize. You're much more comfortable with yourself than you used to be.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm too comfortable here.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means.
Feel your line still.
What the frack?
Feel your line.
Sorry. Wait. Mother fracker. I'm not sure what that means. You're happy here. Happier than you've ever known to be. Really, it comes down to a simple question. What do you want, Will Riker?
Riker laughs to himself.
What?
Stupid. The old song I heard when I was a kid keeps running through my mind. Did you ever have the feeling that you wanted to go? Still had the feeling that you wanted to stay? You knew it was right, wasn't wrong. But you knew you wouldn't be very long. Still had the feeling that you wanted to go. Still had the feeling that you wanted to stay. Start to slow, change your mind.
Guinan enters moving with a tray of drinks and reacts when she hears Riker. He stops and realizes Guinan is looking at him. You start on Friday, 2 shows a night, matinee on Wednesday.
I played a trombone too.
She nods and walks on. Interior engineering, close on monitor. Shows in a quadrum, a graphic representation of the Borg ship.
Manipulation effect in the Borg ship's subspace field. A definite pattern at 4.8-minute intervals during your first confrontation with them.
At the pool table, Shelby, Riker, Geordi, Wesley, Data, and 3 other supernumeraries, at least 1 other woman in the group. It's been a long day. Fatigue is clear on all.
Might indicate high output auxiliary generators kicking in.
One theory is their systems are decentralized with redundant power sources located throughout the ship.
It is a reasonable conclusion. Borg technology has given each member of their society the ability to interface and function collectively. It is likely that they would construct their ship with the same philosophy.
Knock out one generator and another takes over without interruption.
What kind of damage will we have to do to shut them down?
Projections suggest a Borg ship like this one could continue to function effectively even if 78% of it was inoperable.
Reactions.
And our best shot barely scratched the surface.
Geordi in particular is stumped. Moves to a monitor, presses panels that put out several design schemes.
From what I've seen, I can't believe any of your power of your new weapon system can be ready in less than 18 months, Commander.
We've been projecting 24.
Is there anything here we can try to adapt to our current defense systems?
We'll have to look through the specs again. I don't know. My mind's turned to clay.
Mine too.
He inadvertently looks at Data. There's a beat of visual humor. Obviously, Data's mind could run all night. Shelby intends to push him until they fall, moving to the computer, calling up specs.
I think we should look at modifying the plasma phaser design.
Riker notices the excessive fatigue on everyone's faces.
Commander, I think we should all call it a night.
A beat. Shelby reacts without eye contact. There's a crisis. How can he think about breaking for the night? She keeps on working at the computer, eyes on the screen, restrained.
All right. Anyone who's really that tired, if you want to leave.
Overlapping.
Go ahead, Commander.
What would happen if we take the frequency clustering from the existing unit?
Riker interrupts, firm, but none of this even gets loud.
Break here. That's an order. Reconvene at 0500.
Sir, if you'd allow me to continue with Mr. Data, who does not require rest.
You need rest, Commander.
If we have a confrontation with the Borg without improving our defense systems.
If we have a confrontation, I don't want a crew fighting the Borg at the same time. They're fighting their own fatigue. Dismiss.
Their eyes meet in conflict. She exits. Sirius Space, the Enterprise in orbit. Interior Observation Lounge. Picard, Riker, Shelby, Data, Geordi, Worf, Beverly. On the monitor, Admiral Hansen is addressing them.
At 1900 hours yesterday, the USS Lalo departed Zeta Alpha 2 on a freight run to the Sentinel Miner 4. At 2200 hours and 12 minutes, a distress signal was received at Starbase 157. The Lalo reported contact with an alien vessel, described as cube-shaped. The distress signal ended abruptly. She has not been heard from since.
How long to get there at warp 9, Mr. Data?
1 hour, 17 minutes, sir.
Make it so.
Data acknowledges, rises, and exits.
We're coming with every available starship to assist, Captain, but the closest help is 6 days away.
Try to occupy them pending your arrival, Admiral.
You know you will. Hansen out.
All hands will stand to battle stations.
Commander Shelby, status of defense preparations.
Mr. LaForge has a plan to modify shield mutation. Hopefully that'll hold them off for a while.
At the same time, we're returning phasers to higher EM base emitting frequencies. We'll try to disrupt their subspace field.
Your assessment of our potential effectiveness?
Shot in the dark, Captain. Best we can do for now.
Dismiss.
Sirius Space, the Enterprise at warp. Interior, main bridge. Picard, Riker, Worf, Data, Wesley at their positions. Shelby is also on the bridge.
Sir, reading an unidentified vessel just entering sensor range, bearing 110 Mark 151.
Well then, Mr. Worf.
No response, sir.
Move to intercept.
Sir, the vessel has already changed course to intercept us, approaching at warp 9.3, entering visual range.
On screen.
Angle and view screen. Long range. Small dot.
Magnify.
Shot changes to a closer angle. It is a Borg ship.
Mr. Worf, dispatch a subspace message to Admiral Hansen. We have engaged the Borg.
Sirius Space, the Enterprise. The Enterprise and the Borg ship face each other. Both ships have dropped out of warp. Interior main bridge. We are now at red alert.
Captain, you are being hailed.
I am.
Yes, Captain. By name.
Data. Is it the same ship we face at J25?
Uncertain, Commander. However, dimensions are precisely the same.
On screen.
Takes a defiant pose. The interior of the Borg ship appears on the view screen. A great chamber with stacks and stacks of thousands of slots in which are individual Borg.
I am Jean-Luc.
Speaking with 100 voices.
Jean-Luc Picard, Captain of the Starship Enterprise, Registry NCC 1701D. You will lower shields and prepare to transport yourself aboard our vessel. If you do not cooperate, we will destroy your ship.
Picard reacts, does not respond to the demand.
You have committed acts of aggression against the United Federation of Planets. You do not immediately withdraw.
You will surrender yourself or we will destroy your ship. Your defensive capabilities are unable to withstand us.
Riker signals Worf to mute transmission.
What the hell could they want with you?
Thought they were only interested in human life forms, only our technology.
Priorities seem to have changed. Open channel. We have developed new defense capabilities since our last meeting, and we are prepared to use them if you do not withdraw from Federation space. If you do so immediately, I will agree to arrange a conference of our peoples at a neutral location.
Superior engineering on Geordi taking readings.
Shields are being probed. I'm modulating mutation.
Sirius Space, the Enterprise. As the Borg ship sends out their tractor beam, the shield deflects it. Interior main bridge.
Sir, the Borg are attempting to lock onto us with their tractor beam.
Load all torpedo bays, ready phasers. Target coordinates on the source of that tractor beam.
Status of shields?
Holding.
Mutation modulation has them confused.
They have the ability to analyze and adapt. Commander.
Suddenly, the ship shakes violently. Pure engineering. Geordi scurrying around, trying to make adjustments in vain.
Shield modulation has failed. They've locked on.
Shields are being drained. 90%. 80.
Trying to recalibrate mutation. Damn.
Shields have failed.
Fire all weapons.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. An extraordinary sequence. As the Enterprise is grabbed by the tractor beam, we give them everything we've got. The Borg ship takes full impact, and still the beam has us. Interior engineering.
Their subspace field is intact. New phaser frequencies had no impact.
Reverse engines.
Full reverse. We're not moving.
Fire at will.
Launching torpedoes. Phaser spread continuing.
Still no damage to the Borg vessel, sir.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. The second Borg beam reaches out to the Enterprise. Interior engineering. A deafening crack of thunder. The ship shakes. Geordi looks up.
Warning, outer hull breach.
Interior main bridge.
They're cutting into the hull. Engineering section.
Geordi, evacuate engineering.
Interior engineering. People running. The thunder continuing. On the move.
Computer evacuation sequence.
Redirecting engineering control to bridge. Sealing doors to core chamber.
Move it, people.
The door is sliding down, and as he runs the hell out of there.
Warning, inner hull failing. Decompression danger. Deck 36, Section 4. Sealing main engineering.
Interior main bridge.
Data. Fluctuate phaser resonance frequencies. Random settings. Keep changing them. Don't give them time to adapt.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. The Enterprise fires another furious round, this time with fluctuating laser frequencies. Unlike our usual unbroken beam, the beam is divided into dots and dashes, and slate color changes, and finally the Borg tractor breaks off. Interior main bridge. The ship shakes with the release.
The tractor beam has been released.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. Oh, sorry. Exterior space, the Enterprise. Warp away. The Borg ship follows quickly. Interior main bridge.
They are in pursuit, Captain.
Maintain course.
Geordi enters from the turbo lift.
Damage report, Geordi.
Hull rupture in main engineering. Damage is heavy. We lost a lot of good people down there.
11 dead. 8 more unaccounted for, Captain.
Moving to the engineering station, taking readings.
Air teams engineering. Seal hull breach.
They didn't get to the core. I can control functions from here.
Wesley?
Mr. Crusher!
Approaching the Pabulosan Nebulans, sir.
Drop to impulse. Take us in, Ensign.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. Moving at impulse into the solar nebula, swirling clouds. Interior main bridge, including main viewer, as we whiz by the large rocks and clumpy material. Anglo and Wesley drawing on all of his navigation talents. Picard moves up next to him.
The field is getting too dense, sir.
Steady. Mr. Data. Analysis of the nebula cloud.
82% dilithium hydroxyls. Manganese, chromium. It should provide an effective screen against their sensors, sir.
Prepare to take us in, Mr. Crusher. Now, Mr. LaForge, prepare to reverse engines full stop.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. The Enterprise moves into the spiral cloud and disappears from view. Exterior space, the Borg. Slows at the cloud's periphery. Does not go in. Interior main bridge.
And go.
The Borg ship is continuing scans, attempting to locate us.
Good. As long as they're looking for us, they can't hurt anyone else.
Within all active sensors. Passive scanners only. Deflectors to minimum emissions.
To maintain position until we have a better idea.
Exterior space, the Enterprise. Barely visible through the dense cloud. Interior observation lab close on monitors, showing a silent replay of the Borg ship as seen from the Enterprise.
Time index 514. Data started to fluctuate phaser resonance frequency. Solar steam breaks contact. Freeze picture.
Elon Riker is at the head of the table. Wesley, Geordi, and Data are with Shelby. They are reporting progress to him.
Take a close look, Commander. Mr. LaForge?
Maunder freeze frame, the same shot in slow motion. There is a slight wobble in the entire Borg power system.
There's a 2% power drop just for an instant, but it's system-wide. The phaser frequency spread was in a high narrow band.
Conceivably, the ship's power distribution nodes are vulnerable to those frequencies.
If we can generate a concentrated burst of energy with that same frequency distribution, I mean, a lot more than anything our phasers or photon competos could provide.
How do we do that?
The main deflector dish.
It's the only component of the Enterprise designed to channel that much power at controlled frequencies.
Fortunately, there is one slight detail. In the process, the blast completely destroys the Enterprise as well.
But if we could get far enough away, increase the deflector range.
It could work. In the meantime, we should retune all phasers, including hand units, to the same frequency.
Proceed. I'll inform the captain.
There's one other recommendation I'd like to make, Commander. Separate the saucer section. Assign a skeleton crew to create a diversion.
We may need power from the saucer impulse engines.
But it would give them more than one target to worry about.
No, it's too great a risk.
I'd like the captain to make that decision, sir.
I bring all alternatives to the captain's attention, Commander. That'll be all.
As the others exit, Geordi lingers a moment.
I'll need to install higher capacity power transfers to the deflector dish, Commander.
How long?
Better part of a day.
Riker acknowledges, stands, still bristling about Shelby.
She gets a full head of steam up, doesn't she?
Yes, sir. She's a formidable presence, to say the least. But I'm convinced she can help us here, Commander.
I am too, Geordi. Don't worry about it. I can handle Shelby.
Riker nods and they exit. Interior bridge. Riker walks to the ready room door and rings the chime. Worf is in command.
Come.
Door slides open as Riker steps forward. He reacts as he sees Shelby with Picard. Interior captain's ready room continuous.
Comment number 1. Commander Shelby was just telling me of your concerns about her plan.
I'm sorry that she troubled you, sir. I already informed her.
Yes, I entirely agree with you. It's not the time. But I am afraid the time may eventually come when greater risks are required. I'd like you to consider her plan as a fallback position and make the necessary preparations.
Very good, sir.
Interior main bridge. Riker and Shelby exit the ready room and you can cut the tension with a knife. She moves to the turbolift and he's on her heels. Interior turbolift as they enter.
Deck 8, battle bridge.
Door closes. Shelby avoids his eyes. No guilt from her, just unstoppable.
Halt. You and I have to talk, Commander.
You never ordered me not to discuss this with the captain.
You disagree with me, fine. You want to take it to the captain? Fine. Through me. You do an end run around me again, I'll snap you back so hard you'll think you're a first year cadet again.
May I speak frankly, sir?
By all means.
You're in my way.
Really? How terrible for you.
All you know how to do is play it safe. I guess that's why someone like you sits in the shadow of a great man for as long as you have, passing up one command after another. Proceed to deck 8.
When it comes to this ship, to this crew, you're damn right I'll play it safe.
If you can't make the big decisions, Commander, I suggest you make room for someone who can.
Door opens and she exits. Exterior space, the Enterprise, hiding in the dust cloud in the nebula, moving back to find the Borg ship hovering over the swirls.
Captain's log supplemental. The Enterprise remains concealed in the dust cloud, and to my surprise, the Borg have maintained their position, waiting for us to come out of hiding. I have no explanation for their special interest in me or the ship.
Interior engineering, much activity. Repairs are continuing. Supernumeraries working at the last patches in the breach area. At consoles, Geordi, Wesley, Shelby, and Data huddled and compare notes. As Picard enters, taking a slow, respectful inspection. Crew members look up to acknowledge Picard, who just nods. Carry on, as he passes through.
We continue to prepare our defenses for the inevitable confrontation. But I must admit, on this night I contemplate the distinct possibility that no defense may be adequate against this enemy.
Interior 10 forward. Dark and deserted, the view out the window blinded by the nebula fog. Picard enters, walking slowly, takes a long look. Trouble sleeping? Picard turns. Guinan at the bar.
Something of a tradition, Guinan. Join the ship before a battle.
Before a hopeless battle, if I remember traditions correctly. Picard moves to the bar.
Not necessarily. Nelson toured the HMS Victory before Trafalgar.
But Nelson didn't come home from Trafalgar, if I remember.
No, but the battle was won.
And you, Picard, do you expect this battle to be won?
May I prevail? It is a conceit, but a healthy one. I wonder if the Emperor Uranus, watching the Visigoths coming over the Seventh Hill, could truly realize the Roman Empire was about to fall. This is really just another page of history, isn't it? Will this be the end of our civilization? To the page.
It is not the end.
You say that with remarkable assuredness.
With experience. When the Borg destroyed my world, my people scattered throughout the universe. But we survived, and so will humanity. As long as there is a handful left to keep their spirits alive, we will prevail, even if it takes a millennium. Picard nods with appreciation for her, and then the ship shakes as they react. Turn to sea. Somewhere beyond the fog, bright explosions are visible.
Captain Picard, report to the bridge.
On my way, Lieutenant.
They exit. To main bridge, Picard enters. Riker, Worf watch the view screens, and the explosions continue periodically. Supernumeraries on the comms and ops.
Some kind of magnetometric guided charges.
Status of shields.
Back to 48%, Captain.
Mr. LaForge, I may have to take us out of the nebula. I'll need all the power you can give me.
Engines are ready, Captain. Recommend you adjust shield harmonics to favor the upper EM band when you proceed.
Acknowledged.
This time a
Direct hit, Deck 9.
Damage report.
Structural latching system integrity breached.
Take us out of here, number one.
Fire up engines. Have impulse to clear the nebula. Then punch to warp 9.
Ready phasers. Load forward torpedo bays.
Fury space the Enterprise. Moves out of the cloud. Immediately the Borg ship follows. Interior main bridge.
Borg tractor beam is attempting to lock on.
Fired will. Continue rotating shield frequent.
Shields are failing.
Ship is rocked as the tractor beam locks on. People are almost knocked down because nobody on the ship has a seatbelt.
Tractor beam is locked on. Commander Riker. Tractor beam has locked on.
They're holding us.
A Borg materializes. Borg number one looks around, identifies Picard, moves calmly toward him. Worf fires his phasers. The Borg force field is ineffective. It brings down and the Borg is blown down. Immediately, two more Borg materialize. One by the fallen Borg, another behind Picard. Worf fires at Borg number 2 near Picard, but this time the Borg's force field has changed color and repels the phaser.
It's no use. They've already adapted to the new frequencies.
Riker charges Borg number 2, going for Picard, but the Borg easily sends Riker crashing against the wall and grabs Picard. Worf moves towards Picard as Borg number 3 removes part of the Borg 1's dead body. Angle on Picard, Worf reaches him just as he dematerializes, along with Borg number 2 and Borg number 3. A beat later, dead Borg number 1 withers away into dust, and Worf quickly moves back to the tactical.
The Borg ship is disengaging and leaving at warp speed.
Maintain pursuit.
Borg vessel has reached warp 9, 9.4, 9.6.
Stay with them. Riker to O'Brien. Can you get a fix on the captain?
Negative, sir. There's some kind of interference. I can't lock on a signal.
Senior officers report to the bridge.
Sir, the coordinates they've set, they're on a direct course to Sector 001, the Terran system.
Earth.
Exterior space, the Enterprise in pursuit of the Borg ship. Interior Borg ship. Picard is escorted by 2 Borgs. He reacts as he sees. Interior Borg ship. The same massive chamber we saw in the main viewer earlier. Thousands of Borg line up. As Picard enters, they speak with thousands of deafening voices.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard, you lead the strongest ship of the Federation Starfleet. You speak for your people.
I have nothing to say to you, and I will resist you with my last ounce of strength.
Strength is irrelevant. Resistance is futile. We wish to improve ourselves. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to serve ours.
Impossible. My culture is based on freedom and self-determination.
Freedom is irrelevant. Self-determination is irrelevant. You must comply.
We would rather die.
Death is irrelevant.
What is it you wish of me?
Your archaic cultures are authority-driven. You facilitate your introduction into your society. It has been decided that a human voice will speak for us in all communications. You have been chosen to be that voice.
Exterior space, the Enterprise in pursuit of the Borg vessel. Interior main bridge. Riker, Shelby, Geordi, Data, Troy, Worf, Beverly, and Wesley. Supernumeraries are at the comms and ops.
Commander Worf.
What was that, Commander Worf?
Our own defenses.
So far, they haven't had any reason to worry about our defenses.
Commander, if the Borg stay at warp 9.6, we'll be forced to discontinue pursuit and power down in less than 3 hours.
2 hours, 48 minutes, and 3 seconds.
How soon before the deflector is ready?
We're close. A few hours, maybe. I know I'll get it done in 2. Somehow, but Commander, I need serious power from the warp engines to make this weapon work. We're using all we've got just to keep up with them.
I'll get that ship down to impulse.
I'm bringing an away team over there to get the captain back. We'll find a way to bring them out of war. And Crusher, continue to assist Mr. LaForge. Commander Shelby, you'll take the bridge, coordinate with Starfleet. Data, Worf, Dr. Crusher, you're at me.
Sir, with my knowledge of the Borg,
Those are my orders, Commander.
Shelby blinks. Troy fills the breach.
Commander Riker, I think it's inappropriate for you to lead the away team. Until the return of Captain Picard, you are in command of the Enterprise. We are in a state of war. Your place is on that bridge.
Riker frowns. Every bit of his soul wants to lead the charge to the rescue. And suddenly he feels what it takes to command, to delegate authority, to think of the greater needs, but it's frustrating as hell.
Commander Shelby, you will lead the away team.
He sinks into the big chair.
Make it so.
The others scramble and... Exterior space, the Enterprise, still at warp, pursuing the Borg ship.
First officer's log, supplemental. Our pursuit of the Borg continues at high warp, on a course that will take us very far Federation. The devastation it could bring is beyond imagination.
Interior transporter room. Shelby, Data, and Beverly wait with O'Brien as Worf arrives. Hands out phasers.
Phasers have been retuned. Each has a different frequency spanning the upper EM band.
all right, a reminder, we only get to use each of these once, maybe twice before the Borg learn to adapt. Don't fire until you have to.
What kind of resistance can we expect?
At our last encounter, the Borg virtually ignored us when we beamed aboard their vessel, Doctor. They clearly did not consider our being there a threat.
It could very well change. However, if we start interfering with their plans...
We moved on to the transporter.
Shelby to the bridge. Away team ready.
Interior main bridge. Riker, Troy, supernumeraries.
About 58 minutes before we have to power down and disengage.
Understood.
Proceed. Commander, no unnecessary risk. If it becomes clear you can't succeed, I want you back here alive. I don't want any dead heroes. Clear?
Very clear, sir. Shelby out. We've matched warp velocity for the transport. Energize.
Interior Borg ship, Shelby, Data, Worf, and Beverly materialize. They assume a defensive posture. There's no resistance. Many of the Borg are in stasis. Occasionally, one walks by and ignores the away team.
Tricorder functions are minimal.
Any signs of human life?
He continues to make adjustments on the tricorder. Beverly gets her first look at the Borg up close and personal, studying the grindwork structures.
This is extraordinary.
These appear to be some kind of power waveguide conduits which allow them to work collectively as they perform ship functions.
There's no way to take out enough of these to slow them down.
The decentralized power system makes it virtually impossible.
Cautiously moving forward.
What about looking at it from the mosquito's point of view?
An interesting metaphor, Doctor. What is your idea?
If we sting them in a tender spot, at least we might get them to stop a minute to scratch.
Data and Shelby exchange a glance. Not a bad plan. As they move into an intersection to see the awesome conduit box.
Distribution notes.
If we take out a few of these, it might just make them scratch.
Data acknowledges as Worf picks up something on his tricorder.
The captain's communicator. It is still active.
Crusher to Picard. Can you hear me, Captain?
There's no response.
Can you locate it, Worf?
This way.
He leads them down a corridor. Interior ready room. Admiral Hansen on the monitor. Riker notably standing, not sitting, in the captain's chair.
I strongly recommend deploying all available defenses to protect Sector 001, Admiral.
We're moving to intercept at Wharf 359. We'll make our stand there. How much longer can you maintain pursuit?
20 minutes if they stay at our current speed. If we can't bring them out of warp, we'll do as much damage as we can before we have to disengage.
Regard?
Nothing yet, sir.
Interior Borg ship. Down another corridor, Worf leading the way with his tricorder. He stops. A series of large drawers line the wall. It might almost remind us of a morgue.
Here.
An exchange of concerned glances. Data moves forward and pulls out a heavy drawer. They react as they see inside. Picard's uniform, folded neatly. The communicator is visible, his empty boots.
Shelby to the Enterprise.
Go ahead.
We found the captain's uniform and his communicator.
Interior main bridge. Riker frowns, exchanges a worried look with Troy.
We're resuming our search.
Behind him, Wesley, Geordi enter from the turbo lift as Riker sees them.
Stand by, Commander.
We're in business.
It'll burn out the main deflector, but it'll be one hell of a bang.
Radiation danger?
We'll need to evacuate the entire forward half of the secondary hull and the lower 3 decks of the saucer.
I'll see to that.
She moves off the bridge.
Commander Shelby, we have only 17 minutes of warp power left. Do what you can to get them out of warp.
Interior Borg ship. The away team continues to move cautiously on to the intersection.
Acknowledge. Shelby out. Let's take out some of these distribution nodes and see what happens. Get ready. This may rile up our friends.
Data fires his phaser at the top of the conduit box. Nothing. Then Worf and Data fire together. This time, the conduit box shorts out, sparks fly. They move quickly out. Interior Borg ship, the Borg are stirring. The away team reacts as the Borg begin to exit their shelves, as many as we can muster. They see our guys and move calmly toward them. We retreat into another intersection, and Worf and Data shoot out another conduit box. More sparks. As more Borg exit their shells, see us, come at us.
Ready phasers.
They raise their weapons. The Borg move in on them.
Fire!
Shelby and Data fire one direction, Worf and Beverly the other. One set of Borg go down, another set of Borg go down, but more come right behind, climbing over them. The away team moves down the corridor.
Enterprise, encounter resistance. Prepare to beam us back on my signal.
Into another intersection, Data, Worf fire and destroy a third conduit box. A portion of the lights fall. The away team is cloaked in shadow. The sparks created are almost a strobe effect. More Borg coming. The away team fires phasers. The Borg have adapted. None of the phasers affect them this time. We retreat again.
Enterprise, beam us.
Wait, look!
He points and another row of Borg emerging from their in the strobe effect. One of them is the far end is Picard, seen in profile. He looks normal.
Captain!
Picard turns calmly and push in as he does to see that he has been turned into a Borg. Half his face is gone, replaced with machinery. Reactions of the away team, stunned. Picard moves towards them and with the Borg as they are surrounded, and the away team. Worf bursts forward, trying to get to his captain, is repelled violently by a Borg aura around Picard, falls to the floor.
Enterprise, get us out of here.
As sparking effects continue from the damages to the distribution nodes, they dematerialize. Interior main bridge. Riker, Troy, Wes at the con, Geordi at engineering station.
Sir, they did it. The Borg ship. It's dropping out of warp.
Go to impulse.
Diverting warp energy to main deflector.
Move us to within 40,000 kilometers, max velocity. Commence arming sequence. Increase deflector modulation to upper frequency band.
The away team enters from the turbo lift. Worf moves to tactical.
Captain?
Sir, Captain Picard has been altered by the Borg. We were unable to retrieve him.
Altered?
He is a Borg!
Riker reacts, stunned.
We'll go back. I need more people. We need to retune the phasers again. We'll get him out of there.
Commander, reading subspace field fluctuation within the Borg ship. Looks like they're regenerating, restoring power. They could be capable of warp any minute.
Is the deflector ready?
Ready, sir.
Will, he's alive. If we get him back, I might be able to restore.
It's our only chance to destroy them. If they get back into warp, our weapon becomes useless.
Go back. We'll sabotage them again if we have to.
You can't maintain pursuit. You don't have the power. Prepare to fire.
I need to consult with Starfleet Command. Get Admiral Hansen on subspace.
Lead that order, Lieutenant. There's no time.
Sir, we are being hailed by the Borg.
On screen.
Picard Borg appears. He speaks with a single metallic Borg voice, a version of his own. And during the speech, we pushing closer on Riker and Picard.
I am Locutus, Borg. Resistance is futile. Our life, as it has been, is over. From this time forward, we will service us.
An extreme close-up of Riker, a deep breath, then firm without raising his voice.
Worf. Fire.
The end.
Yay! That was amazing. Oh my god. Wow. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna stop recording now. We really appreciate your time. To be continued with part 2.